welcome to the Standards, Learning, and Accountability Committee meeting. I'm sure our meeting may not be as exciting as the last meeting, but it'll be good. We welcome those of you in attendance. Board members, please make sure that you're using the microphone so that the minutes can be accurate. Let's look at the approval for the minutes from October the 7th. That was the last time that this committee met. Is there any objection to approving the minutes as presented? Hearing none, the minutes are approved by unanimous consent. Approval of the agenda for today. Is there any objection to approving the agenda as presented? Hearing none, the agenda has been approved unanimously. We do not have anyone to sign up for public comments, so we will go on. Our first item for approval is the revisions to the Read to Succeed implementation guidelines for endorsements and course approval document. And I believe Dr. Green is here. Good, and she will present. Thank you.
Good morning, and this will be exciting. So,
thank you
for approval today, we all are 2.2 is better. 2.0 is better than 1.0. So, for approval today, are revisions to the Read to Succeed implementation guidelines for endorsements and course approval guidance document. Revisions include several Scrivener errors and the addition of a new literacy endorsement for CERDEP 4K teachers as required by Proviso 1A.74 of the South Carolina General Appropriations Bill for fiscal year 25-26. Act 114 authorizes the State Board to approve guidelines on an annual basis for professional development, coursework, certification, and endorsement requirements for teachers of early childhood and elementary education, including special education teachers, interventionists, reading specialists, and administrators whose responsibilities either directly or indirectly substantially relate to reading and literacy instruction, support, or interventions. The original course guidelines were approved by the State Board of Education in February of 2025. The South Carolina Department of Education recommends approval of the following revisions and additions. On page 12 of the guidance document, we have a Scrivener's error. We want to change the July 1, 2024 date to July 1, 2025. While the literacy competencies were revised in 2024 to reflect changes due to Act 114, the updated course approval process did not begin until the summer of 2025. The revised date reflects alignment of R2S coursework to the updated R2S literacy competencies. On page 14 of the guidance document, Proviso 1A.74 created a new Read to Succeed literacy endorsement for all of our CERDEP 4K teachers. This endorsement ensures that our youngest learners in our 4K classrooms have teachers who are certified and trained in teaching foundational literacy skills aligned to the science of reading. On page 19 of the document, the literacy competencies. We included a clarifying statement regarding which standards should be included with each course. There was some confusion in the field as how to align coursework. This revision clarifies which standards are addressed in each course, as well as how to align specific course topics with specific literacy competencies. On page 22, a Scrivener's error, we're changing the word reading coach endorsement to literacy course endorsement to align that to the Office of Educator Services. Same for page 23, we're changing the R2S reading specialist endorsement to that of the R2S literacy special endorsement. On page 24, we have a course update to include education leadership to earn the R2S literacy specialist endorsement. When you refer to page 14 of the document, you will see that the 4 courses are required for the R2S literacy specialist endorsement. A description of the 4th course called Additional Education Leadership Course was added to this guidance document to clarify that this course also must align with the revised literacy competencies of 2024 and also must be submitted for approval. On page 26 and 27, again, Scrivener errors. We want to change August 1, 2025 just to that of August 1st. And our rationale, now that we've been through one full calendar cycle of course approval, there's no longer the need to have a year listed. And finally, on page 27, we want to shift that paragraph out of the timeline matrix. This paragraph no longer needs to be embedded within timeline matrix, as the use of the 2024 literacy competencies are now the standard when creating coursework. The emphasis to date has been on course approval. The survey is currently being developed and will be sent to a random sampling of participants in various newly approved courses. And as the law states, that all must occur prior to August 1, 2026, so we are on target to having that completed. Do you have any questions that I can answer for you at this time on this exciting topic?
Any questions? Okay. Is there a motion to approve the revisions to the Read to Succeed implementation guidelines for endorsements and course approval document? Thank you, Board Member Haney. Is there a second?
Hanley, second.
And Hanley is second. Thank you. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed by the like sign. Thank you. The motion carries.
Thank you so much.
Our next report is the report of recommendations from the Instructional Materials Advisory Committee for the 2026 adoption cycle. And Ms. Barker's here.
Good morning, Madam Chair and Committee. So back in late October, the Instructional Materials Advisory Committee came together for their annual meeting, and they have made recommendations that we are seeking your approval today. There are 3 of them. The first one are the subject areas to be open for the 2026 call for bid. You had a list of those in priority order. It was a good 3-hour meeting, and they worked diligently to put those courses for both career and technical education as well as visual and performing arts in priority order. So that is the first approval request. The second one is an additional list that you have for 1-year extensions. Some of our instructional materials, their contracts will be up this coming spring, so we want to extend those materials that have already had your approval and have gone through the process, but we just need to extend those until the standards team has new standards that we can then have new materials as well. And then the third and final approval is for the 2026 instructional materials adoption process and calendar, moving forward starting this January. So if you have any questions about any of the lists, I'm happy to answer.
I just have a curious question. What are steel pans?
I am going to direct your question to Roger and Visual and Performing Arts. So glad he's here.
Good morning. Steel pans are a classification of world percussion, so those are the Caribbean steel pans that you would think of that are taught in our music courses.
Nicole, I thought it was interesting on the priority list. Artificial intelligence is 82 and 83. I mean,
Yes.
the bottom.
And there is an answer. There
Okay,
is a
good.
reason for that. I was waiting for your
Yeah.
question, actually. So that is currently in the design and pilot phase. So we just thought it would be kind of could create more issues by asking vendors and publishers to create materials for that because it's still in that design phase. And we just want to make sure that the pilot goes successful, and then we can make sure that everything is aligned based on the pilot with that. But yes, I reached out to our CTE team and made sure I had an answer because I anticipated that question.
And the ones that are extended for a year, they would be placed at the top the next
Possibly.
year?
Some may be, some may not be. It would just also depend on standards. If we have new standards, then we would have those would get pushed to the top as far as that. But if there's not new standards yet for those, then not necessarily. The current materials are still sufficient.
Thank you. Any more questions?
I'm excited to see all the CTE stuff on the list.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed to see how low it is compared to us, though. I'd love to see some of that stuff move up the list. It looks like they did okay.
Well, both CTE and VPA have not been funded in quite a few years, so they were trying to come together and cooperate. And then also, once we open the call for bid, all 83 courses will be open for bid. We can't guarantee that all 83 will have materials. It will just be what the publishers bid on in those subject areas. So next year's priority list may look a little different. These are just what's going to go out for the vendors to see what they are going to bid and are able to provide new materials for.
Any more questions, comments? Thank you. It's a great report. Is there a motion to approve the report of recommendations from the Instructional Materials Advisory Committee for the 2026 adoption cycle? Is there a motion? Yes, there's a motion.
Madam Chair, yes, I move that we approve the list as submitted.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed by the like sign. Thank you. The motion carries. We have no items for information. Is there a motion to place agenda items 1 and 2 on the consent agenda?
Any motion to approve items 1 and 2 for the consent agenda?
Is there a second?
Hanley, second.
Thank you. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed by the like sign. The motion carries. We have no other business. And we'll, unless someone, oh, did I not say that? Is there any other business for this committee? Sorry about that. I'm always playing catch up, y'all know that. Is there a motion to adjourn? That's just,
Move that we adjourn. Vincent?
okay. Is there a second? Thank you. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. All opposed by the like sign. And the motion carries and meeting's adjourned. Thank you so much.